For the past several years, I've encountered some of the most treacherous things that a person can encounter. But I've also experienced some of the most joyous things at the same time. This page I started about a decade ago, and I haven't really posted to it outside of clips that showcase me doing various things or people saying various things. And that's largely because I'm not a person that loves just monologuing. It, just my personality doesn't sit well. But I'm a person that does a lot of writing. I write a lot, even when I'm not publishing that work. So I have over 10 books written and published. Many have went on to sell thousands. But I also have pieces where I've written, well over 1,000 articles and columns for various publications. Some published, some were consistently, written. But I still continue to write. So I have thoughts and I'm journaling and I'm doing things that the public may not see and encountering things that the public may not see. And I said, well, maybe I should share some of those thoughts in very abbreviated ways, because that may be the degree of my comfort. I'm just not I guess maybe the TV host that would just talk for 2 hours. I can do that endlessly at a conference or in front of people where I know what they want to hear. But sometimes you get spoken to spiritually, and there's some things that people may want to hear just based on what God is telling you, but you still don't, share those things or make it public. So I said to myself, I need to start doing that. So many people would say, well, where has Professor Devin been? I've been in the trenches doing work and doing very, very meaningful work. But in that journey of meaningful work, I've also encountered many things. Some of the best successes and some of the most difficult challenges, from illnesses to deaths of very close people to me, to business acceleration, to business decline, in many different areas. And if you're like me, or like pretty much anyone that believes in God and follow of Christ, you get on your knees, right? And you often get on your knees to pray for to make a request. Like we have the popular thing called prayer requests, right? And the prayer request is typically to remove something that may be challenging. But the thing you have to ask yourself is, are you really being punished? Because a lot of people would think, and people even in the public would say, oh, it's karma, you're getting what you deserve, and it's repercussions or consequences for something. But I challenge you to really dig a little deeper and see if it's really a challenge. I talk about a lot of times about like on video games. I haven't played video games in over 25 years, but on video games, if it's still like this, typically when you reach at the end of one level, the challenge becomes even more difficult. There's something that, and I'm gonna date myself. I'm gonna go back to like Miss Pac-Man or Donkey Kong. The closer to beating that level, and where I'm from, we call it pop. When the game pop, I don't know if that's a common thing, but that's what we called it in my young days. But when you're about to pop in the game, the challenge becomes very, very difficult. The game moves faster. There are more obstacles to scale. It gets a lot tougher. And sometimes we don't think about the fact that those challenges are coming to us because we're about to pop. We're about to catapult to the next level. Sometimes we recluse ourselves or sink into ourselves thinking that we've done something wrong. Now, I'm not saying that there isn't punishment and you possibly could have done something wrong, but you often also don't want to stay in that space. Because for people who are Christ followers, you got to also understand that you can be doing a whole lot of things right. You're not going to be doing it perfectly. But even when you're doing things right, challenges are going to come, because that's what God says. Challenges will come. He doesn't promise just an easy life or easy street. What he promises, he won't ever leave you. So when those challenges come, you have to welcome those challenges and stop and say, okay, instead of the prayer request being just remove this thing, what you should be asking is, can you prepare me for the next level? Can you give me the wisdom I need to learn for this challenge, to beat the challenge, and to be prepared for the next level so I don't relapse back to this level? Those are some of the things that you got to look at and get up every day and push forward. It's very, very difficult, especially when, it's like, let's say you're at a ball dancing with a loved one on the dance floor, and there are people shooting arrows into your back. It's very, very difficult for you to keep dancing the same way. You're not going to dance the same way. You're going to get weakened. Your steps are going to get corrupt. Your thinking is going to be compromised. There's so many things are going to happen because you're feeling pain and you're being attacked. And if you don't have people around you on that dance floor to whether shield you or help you get through that song, you can find yourself falling. If you don't have the right partner to hold you up, you can find yourself falling. That partner is not going to put their arms around you and keep you erect dancing. You're going to fall. You're going to get weakened. You're going to bleed out. But my message to you guys is don't fall, because you may not be being punished. You may be being tested so that you can learn the lesson from that test. But it doesn't mean that you're being evil. For those that know you, know the content of your character, and to be quite honest, a lot of times when devastation shows up, you should welcome it and be happy. The pain is tremendous, but what happens around you, there's a pruning process. There's a lot of dead weight that's going to fall off. You're going to get to see those that really ride with you. You're going to get to see the real truth of the strength of your circle or your support system. You're going to really get to see that. And when you get to see that, that's a gift, because you don't get stronger in good times. You get stronger in weak times. You get stronger in challenging times. And what you need to do is get stronger, wiser, learn how to go back in that same position, master the level that you're on, catapult, pop, keep moving, keep building, pruning, getting more life, and moving forward in a way that takes you to a bigger impact of who you need to be in your life. Do not miss what's happening around you. Do not miss what's happening inside you, because you're getting strong and it's not designed for you to fall. It's not designed for you to fail. So is it really punishment, or is it really a gift? And that's what you really want to understand. There's so much more I'm going to be talking about. There's so many more exposures and things I'm going to include you guys on. I applaud people that have followed, supported, knew some of the deeper things that have been happening and rallied around me on my dance floor. And I will continue to share many of the things that has transpired and some of the good that has come out of it, for not just for me, but for me to share. And what I'm going to leave you with, I want you to understand that the man who fails is the same man who tries. Have a blessed day.